Brand new reports have surfaced that Marvel Studios is fast-tracking the upcoming fifth entry in the Thor franchise with a potential start as early as spring of 2025. So if you have been keeping up with all the news in relation to the next entry in the Thor franchise, and we've covered plenty of it here, you know that multiple things have been said. One, Taika Waititi, the director of the last two films, will not be back, and he's more or less publicly apologized for the last film, saying it didn't really go the way he had hoped or the way that most fans have hoped, so he's sorry and he's moving on. Chris Hemsworth ended up slamming the film, saying they went too goofy and dumb and they want to fix it with the next film. And even recently, we talked about the director of Mad Max Fury Road and Furiosa, George Miller, taking the film franchise over. Well, by all accounts, something we heard from the press tour of Thor Love and Thunder, that's that the next Thor film, they aim to turn it around quicker, and rumors suggested they wanted it out before Avengers Secret Wars. So brand new reports are coming in, and it looks like there is some validity to this, as people who track productions and everything have stated that there's movement to already start working on the next Thor entry as early as spring of 2025. Now, if you look at the pattern, let's say they start in May of 25. This would mean by August or September of 26, the film would be coming out, meaning it would be after Avengers 5 before Avengers 6. Now, again, there seems to be so much in motion in terms of content that they're working on and how many films they got to fit in. Either if they're lying and they're going to put in like 4 films a year, and that's too much because they said they want 2, max 3, and you still got to account for Sony, Spider-Man, and whatever they're doing with their films. It just seems like too much. The only thing I could see is that maybe they space out the Avengers films and do delay both of them, and then you can fit more films in. And I think Thor perfectly slots in there, especially establishing what him and the rest of the crew is doing out there, because they've kind of all been disconnected, right? You got to put them all back together and catch up with them on their individual adventures. So to me, if they're really setting up to start shooting next year with a major change in place that would make the film darker, according to reports, and go more brutal Viking, hey, this is what you wanted from the start, this might be the last-ditch effort. And honestly, I think there is something to that, because I think they can get at least another 2 Thor films out, but the next one's got to be good. So a creative, fresh, soft reboot might just be what the doctor ordered. And with that in mind, what is your guys' take on this? And do you think it's time for a whole creative revamp again? Or do you think the ship has sailed on Thor as a franchise?